Hey guys, Kevin here. Came across something cool that I want to share with you guys. It's called the X1i. It is an iPhone case that turns your phone into an Android phone. Well, it doesn't turn into an iPhone. It actually adds Android functionality to the back of the phone. It's kind of bizarre, unique, but at the same time, there's a lot of practicality, here as well. I think it's an interesting device, and as you can see here from the screen, they were looking for $95,000, and they've reached their goal very easily. They've got $204,000 already, and it keeps going up every time I check the page. So it only retails at $95 here if you pledge $95 or more, and it's going to retail around $229 later. There's other features you can get here, like this one has cellular connectivity and things like that. There's other things they're going to add. Right, so let's break down what this actually is. What you've got is, you've got your iPhone, right? And if I mute this, essentially what happens is, you've got your iPhone, and it's kind of like one of those big Morphe cases, but on the back, what they have is an Android screen. So they've got an Android screen on the back. So that's on at all times. So effectively, you've got like an iPhone at the front, your normal iPhone, and on the back, you've got an Android screen. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds, and you can see there wireless charging. I'll go through all the features there. There's a little list of all the features here. So just imagine you've got your iPhone, you put on this big kind of black, it does look quite horrible if I'm honest. It takes your sexy iPhone, it does make it look a little bit bulky, etc. But for the practicality, it could be worth it. It gives you a 5-inch AMOLED display. Gives you pure Android operating system. So it adds in wireless charging. You can see here it's got 2,800 milliamps of power. So how it works is, it's not going to drain any battery at all from your iPhone at no point, which I think is the right decision. But that 2,800 milliamp battery, that will charge up your iPhone through the Lightning port, but it will also, power the actual Android device. So you've got close to 3,000 milliamps of battery, which will power the Android display, but will also charge your iPhone. You get two SIM slots in there. No slim shots. Well, I suppose they are slim, but it's SIM slots. Up to 256 gigabytes of storage through a micro SD card. It's got a metal tag for your car mount. I keep speaking. I need to drink, I think. Effectively, that's what that is. I've got in the back of mine, and it just means that when I go into my car, I can just stick it. And I think this is actually, I love that. I think that's really, really useful. So that's cool that it's built in. It's got NFC, it's got infrared, it's got a 3.5mm headphone jack. Now, if you've got an iPhone 7, that is music to your ears, no doubt. It's one of the features missing from the latest iPhone, and I'm sure a lot of people would find that useful. Now, the thing is, a lot of people would say, well, you've got Bluetooth headsets and things like that, you don't need it anymore. But a lot of the best headphones still require a 3.5mm jack. Plus, from me, if you're trying to do, video through Facebook, through Twitter, through YouTube, you actually need to use the 3.5mm headphone jack to plug in a microphone. So it's not just music that you need that headphone jack for. Now, here where it says take the best selfies, what it means is, it talks about how the back of your phone is where the best camera is. But if you're using a selfie, if you want to take a selfie, you need to use the front camera. And traditionally in most phones, there are a few kind of bizarre Chinese phones that have the same sensor in the back and the front. But most phones, what they do is have a really good camera in the front. And the front's about 5 megapixels or 8 megapixels. But what the idea is here, because you've got that Android screen on the back, you can actually use it to take a selfie using the good camera. I think that's a really cool idea, So if you want to take a selfie, if you want to take video, and you want to hold it up like that, that's really, really cool. It kind of is bridging the gap between iPhone and Android, and giving you the best of both worlds. You can see there it's going to work with iPhone 7, 6, 6S and 6, and it does the regular size one and the Plus. Let me see if there's anything I've missed here. If I've missed any features. You can see the Morphe Juice is quite popular as far as being a power pack, and a power pack clearly needs some water. So Morphe is one of the most popular options to adding a battery to your iPhone, and you can see that it's a little bit thinner. So you get the full Was it a 1080? It's a 1080p screen, AMOLED, 256 gigabytes. Android 7.1. It's bang up to date. So that's probably one of the best pictures on the page of it, and it is ugly. Well, that's the back of the phone. That is the back of the phone. It does. I'm hoping. I mean, maybe the final version will look a little bit better, but I mean that looks quite kind of cheap and stuff like that. But what you're doing is you're adding protection to your phone. You're adding a power pack, you know, for battery for your phone. You're adding Android functionality, and that opens up a whole new world of different things. I mean, the idea is that you're still going to use your iPhone primarily as the main phone. The Android, the way I'm looking at it is the Android part of it is really like a supplement. You know, it's to supplement your iPhone to give you the features that you don't have already. But the fact it takes SIM cards means that you can take calls and all that through that as well. I mean, it is a fully functional phone, and they've actually, to keep costs down, they've done the right thing where they've relied on the iPhone's camera. They've not tried to, you know, just stick another phone in the back. They've thought, well, we don't need to replace the phone, you know, keep costs down, we can use the screen, and what we really need is the battery. And, you know, opens up a lot of apps, a lot of, you know, like file exploration, stuff like that iPhone, iOS users don't get. And I think this is a really interesting idea. So that's just kind of more of the features. Wireless charging, infrared, which is something I've had in phones before, and I thought it was going to be the coolest feature ever, and you never use it. You end up never using it. So yeah, there's a kind of summary of it all there. Lightning port at the bottom, hard polymer case with hard rubber on top. I think it does look quite ugly. There's no doubt it does look quite ugly in my opinion. But this is, if you're willing to if you've got, I don't have an iPhone myself, guys, but if you do have an iPhone, you can save a lot of money by backing the project early, and then, you know, when it comes out in a few months' time, you're saving quite a lot of money. You know, $95, $129 there for the 4G version. And you can get a little bit of a discount by the looks of it if you order 2. Laser tag game, that sounds like a completely pointless thing that I don't need. And there's other stretch goals that they're going to add. Waterproofing. So if they reach $3 million, I'm not sure if it will, but you know, they're adding other things, waterproofing, real leather. It just shows you what they could do. Whether this is going to be good or not, you know, time will tell. But as far as the concept, I think this is really, really interesting, guys. I think this is a really cool concept. I like the idea of this, and it really is thinking outside the box, because you're not going to see something like this developed by, you know, Sony or anything like that. This is something that's going to come from smaller third-party companies. I think this company that's based in Tel Aviv in Israel. It's going to come from smaller companies, but a lot of the time these kind of, what sounds like a bizarre kind of idea, a concept that basically a lot of people would dismiss as being a bit too quirky and maybe something that's not necessary. A lot of the time this is what drives innovation, and it's what really pushes, you know, things forward. And maybe down the line people will take what works in this and, you know, incorporate it into mainstream phones. I'm not sure, but I'll leave a link to this, guys. I'd like you to check out yourself and let me know what you think about it. I think it's very, very interesting. You know, there's a lot of things that come on Kickstarter, and I just think this is, you know, pointless. Or I've talked about it before, with big companies just use it as a way to promote, you know, products. But I think this is a really interesting idea. You know, you can see there's a lot of news websites covering it as well, because it is so interesting. And yeah, if I had an iPhone, I'd be very tempted to order this, I'll put it that way. But hopefully in the future they can make it less ugly, because it looks really, really crappy. That's the price you pay for functionality, guys. If you want added features, you need to take your sexy phone and uglify it. Thanks for watching, guys. Please do leave a comment, and until next time, take care.